We will now present the Kathleen Grimm Medal for Distinguished Public Service. In 2014, Kathleen Grimm, an alumna and trustee of the law school, was awarded the President's Medal at commencement. In February 2015, after she passed away, New York Law School established this award in honor of her inspiring leadership, her distinguished service to the law school, and her long public service career. Kathleen was one of New York City's most dedicated public servants, having served 5 city mayors, 1 state comptroller, 7 city commissioners, and 4 city schools chancellors. Today's honoree, Okeke, embodies that same commitment to public service. Meke is an evening division graduate of the class of 1997. For more than 2 decades, he has promoted and defended the legal position of major international organizations committed to preserving the rule of law, peace, security, and economic development around the world. He is currently senior counsel at the World Bank in Washington, D.C. In this role, he provides legal advice on corporate, administrative, and institutional affairs. He also defends the institution before the World Bank Administrative Tribunal and in its internal justice system, and manages external litigation against the World Bank. Meke is a renowned expert on the privileges and immunities of international organizations. In May of 2018, he published an important book, Jurisdictional Immunities of States and International Organizations. The book examines the immunity of foreign states and international organizations from the jurisdiction of national courts and includes a foreword by the President of the International Court of Justice. Earlier in his career, Meke worked for UNESCO, a United Nations specialized agency that seeks to build peace through international cooperation in education, the sciences, and culture. As a legal officer for UNESCO, he represented the agency in appeals and administrative proceedings and advised on international and legal matters. He also served in the UN Office of the Legal Counsel in New York. There, among other accomplishments, he worked on the establishment of the Registry of the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, the Special International Criminal Court created by the UN following the Rwandan genocide. Meke has demonstrated what it means to be a dedicated public servant on the global stage. Meke, please join me at the podium. This medal symbolizes your remarkable accomplishments in international law and development, as well as your devotion to upholding institutions that enable nations to work together towards peace and prosperity worldwide. Congratulations. Let's get a picture.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good. Congratulations, class of 2019. Yes. Congratulations also to your families, your friends, and well-wishers, without whom we wouldn't be here today celebrating this important milestone in your life. So, congratulations. It is with humility that I accept the Kathleen Grimm Medal for Distinguished Public Service. Thank you, Dean Crowell, and thank you to New York Law School for bestowing me with this honor. I'm truly honored to be part of this special moment in your lives, your graduation from law school. I am very proud to share with you the distinction of being a graduate of this law school. To graduate from law school is quite an accomplishment, but what you do with your law degree and education matters even more. The renowned educationist, James A. Perkins, who was the president of Cornell University in the 1960s, had said, and I quote, "The acquisition of knowledge is the mission of research. The transmission of knowledge is the mission of teaching. The application of knowledge is the mission of public service." I would also like to add that public service is about achieving significance, not just success in life. When you achieve success in life, it is about what you have done for yourself. When you achieve significance in life, it's about what you have done for others. Public service does not require extraordinary gift or exceptional achievement. All that public service requires is a strong commitment to a worthy and common cause. You can choose public service, or public service can choose you. In my case, I will say that I was chosen by public service. I was already working at the United Nations when I attended law school as an evening student. After graduation, I had considered and sought employment in law firms and was interviewed by, I believe, about 3 of them. During the interview, my interviewers were more interested in knowing about what it was like to work at the United Nations. The interviews invariably ended with the following question posed to me: why would you want to leave a place like the United Nations to come and work in a law firm? This question really settled my quest for seeking employment in a law firm. After that experience, I decided to dedicate my career to serving in international organizations. I knew then that I was lucky to have the opportunity to be working for the United Nations. After 10 years working for the United Nations in New York, I joined UNESCO in Paris, where I sat for 4 years before joining the World Bank about 15 years ago. What made the difference for me was the international nature of the work and the multicultural environment in which this work is done. I have so far dedicated over 2 decades of my professional life to the service of these organizations. I'm not only lucky to work for these international organizations, but we, the citizens of the world, are also lucky to have these organizations amongst others. International organizations matter in today's world. We need to understand why international organizations are created. Nations opt for international cooperation through the establishment of and participation in international organizations to achieve their common objectives. International organizations like the United Nations, the World Bank, the IMF, were created in the aftermath of the Second World War to promote peace and development throughout the world. They are created with laudable mandates and missions. Yes, they are not perfect institutions. They can be reformed, but they cannot be replaced. If they didn't already exist, we would have created them in today's world. They have become indispensable in our lives. In fact, this might explain for their proliferation in today's world. International organizations are relevant and useful across a wide spectrum of human activity. If only the average person knew how much the international legal order with international organization impacts us in our daily lives, they would all appreciate more why they matter and why they should be supported and defended. I will give you a few examples of the activities of international organizations that might not be readily apparent to you. When you visit and enjoy World Heritage sites, such as the Yellowstone National Park here in the United States, the Pyramids of Giza in Egypt, Machu Picchu in Peru, or Petra in Jordan, or Peru in the house. I doubt whether you think about UNESCO, but it is the series of treaties and protective work of this international organization that preserve natural and cultural heritage sites around the world. When you take an airplane to go visit these places or other places around the world, I doubt whether you think about the International Civil Aviation Organization, but it is this organization that makes it possible for you to take shorter and more direct routes to your destinations around the world. In the case of the United Nations, it has provided nations with institutions and means for the peaceful settlement of disputes. It has promoted international peace and security by reducing war between nations. Most important, the world has spared the scourge of a third world war so far because of the work of the United Nations. I could go on and on about international organizations and why they matter, but you get the point. The bottom line is that multilateralism is better than unilateralism in international affairs. History has shown that no nation, no matter how powerful, can go it alone. There is no alternative to international cooperation. What I have done in my career is promote and protect the interests of the international organizations that I've had the privilege to serve so that they can go about fulfilling the functions for which they were created. I have also become a public advocate for international organizations through my writings and speeches. I decided to talk a bit about my work so far to show you that the opportunities for public service are diverse and extensive. There is more than one path to public service, but whichever path you follow, all roads lead to Rome. You will arrive at self-fulfillment. Some of you may be wondering, why am I talking to you today about public service on your graduation from law school instead of giving you career advice? It is because public service is much more than a career. It is a calling, and nothing prepares you more for it than a good legal education. It is therefore not a surprise that most public servants are lawyers. In closing, I would like to acknowledge that one of the best things that happened to me in this calling is to have graduated from New York Law School. It instilled in me the desire to distinguish myself. I did not have the privilege to take anything for granted. I therefore tried harder. If I can do it, so can you. Believe in yourself. Be as good. You are as good as the other fellow. Do not be discouraged. Do not be demoralized. Do not be defeated because of their previous achievements. Today is a new day. Today is a new dawn. Today is a new beginning. A new beginning to be and make the change you want to be. A piece of iron can only become what the blacksmith wants it to be. You are the blacksmith, and your legal education is the anvil. Go turn that piece of iron into something that is of service to the public, something that will make the world a better place, something that will make our New York community very proud. Congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you for those great remarks, Meke.